Certainly.
So as far as clips go, I'll clip leading up to this fight and just like some parts of it, but it won't be the whole 3 hours. Nothing to watch. Just a lot of wipes.
How did you find it?
Hear me. Roach 10!
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes?
Ready when you are.
Okay. So drink this one first. Actually, no. Drink this one first. Okay.
Yes? Hmm?
Hey there.
Following your lead.
Nope, nope, nope. Wrong person.
Yes?
Here.
Ready, Watcher.
Let's disengage.
I'm here.
An arrow in him. Come here, wolf.
Following your lead.
Okay, you can come over here as well.
Ready when you are.
What?
Yeah? Hey there.
Okay. Should be okay.
Ready, Watcher.
Mow it, Pixie.
Okay. As long as he can hold these two, I guess we could focus these guys.
Hey
Stay up.
there.
Fight them. Okay, now gotta get the killer out of there though.
Following your lead.
Need him out of there too. Like you out of there. Oh man, he didn't cast that till over here. Crap. Cast this here, then. Do your dual people thing. Give her just a little topping off.
Ready, Watcher.
Drink your potion. Get him.
Just say the word.
Give yourself a second of reprieve. No, wait. You need to drink this. Okay. We'll drink this next.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing your fists.
Oh?
Okay. Drop your Drake. You come back here. That thing is down. So what I need, everyone out. Except for you. Not you. Not you.
Just say the word.
All of you need to go out.
Answer.
Go after this thing. Arrow in this one.
Ready when you are.
And with this, how are your potions doing? You're doing okay.
Hmm?
You don't have that spell yet. Okay. Move you over here. Cool. There we go. Fists. Still wounded. Good.
Ready when you are.
Alright, heal yourself.
What?
Where are you? Kinda lost track of him. Heal yourself. Do your Chaprosin thing.
Yes?
Drop this here. Yeah, I need a big heal on him. Quickly.
Yes?
You drink this.
Yeah?
That, drink this. We have time. We have time. I believe. Go over, drop this. Actually, come over here. Drop. Not this one. This one. Here. Okay. Cool. Drop this.
Mm-hmm.
When you can. Heal your dog.
Following your lead.
Drop another dragon.
Hmm?
Right. I hope you guys are way laying on this thing. Drink this.
Ready, Watcher.
Heal your dog. Back off. Heal. Heal yourself.
Ready when you are. Just say the word.
Didn't work. Okay, well at least I got him a little further away. Well, heal them. I need him back up.
Yes?
Okay, so now he's backed up. Drink.
Hey
My
there.
gosh.
Ready when you
Confused,
are.
hurt, all of the things. Hit him.
Ready, Watcher.
Revive your dog. Heal the revived dog.
Hey there.
Grab his bulwark.
Yes? What?
Okay, I need a big heal in that group. They're gonna make it. They're not gonna make it.
Yes?
Sucks. They're not gonna make it. No way. Unless this spell works. I doubt it does. Nope.
Ready when you are.
Heal yourself. Actually, no. Regen potion.
Now.
Mow it.
Try keeping them up.
Following your lead.
Just say the word.
And he is struggling to try to do this.
Yes.
Okay. Back off this. Cast this guy here.
Just say the word.
Drink. Okay, cast this on him. How is this thing still so alive?
Following your lead.
Hmm.
Yes.
I'm here.
Ready when you are.
Oh god, drink your potion. This is not looking good.
Ready when you are.
Okay. I need you to save the tank. I still have 3 reses. We'll do this heal.
Mow it.
This. I'm gonna this guy. Do your thing.
Mow.
What?
Man.
Ready when you are.
Heal yourself. Try to heal them. All of them. Dang, he got super healed again. I cannot get this dude down.
Ready when you are.
What?
Back.
Ready when you are.
Okay, if you guys could run away, that would be special. We lost our tank, but I can bring him back. If you do the right thing.
Then roar.
Moe Ixi Ana.
Save yourself. Okay. Heal yourself.
Following your lead.
You come back here. I'm turning off your AI. You're just dropping dragons now. Okay. Heal yourself. You are actually going after him.
Just say the word.
Doing this. Okay. Run away.
Hey there.
Run away.
Novel.
Okay.
Yes.
Turn her around. Hit her actually to him. Okay. Where is that spell you have? You have it right here.
Yes.
Okay. Switch weapons. Go back to here.
Following your lead.
I'm here.
Come back.
What?
Okay, so you're back. Great. This is on everyone. Okay. He's almost dead. He's so close to dead. What can I do to make him die? Oh my god. Oh no, he took over everyone. Oh, he just... Dang it. He was so close to dying. And then that heal.
Ready when you are.
Everyone
Yeah.
run. Run. Lost him. Okay.
Yes.
Ready, Watcher.
Better after.
Okay. Get out of there. We almost had him.
Ready, Watcher.
Cast it here. Wait. That should be able to hit all of them. Here. Nope. You hit him. They all seem bound, right? Okay. Oh, no, that's not how it's gonna happen. Try to cast that here. Keep hitting him. Okay, nope, everyone's moving around.
Following your lead.
Cast that here. Cast that here.
Naughty ass blowing it down.
Okay,
Following your
you
lead.
get out of here.
I'm here.
You get out of here. Turn around. Oh my god, we have a mark. Mark Thanos. Who is he aiming at? I can't tell. You guys run. Run.
Nabaru.
Okay, he was aiming that way. Quick hands.
Ready, Watcher.
This guy, please.
Hmm?
Just hit him. Oh my god. Oh my god. 3 hours. That's the time it takes me to beat any significant boss in this game. 3 hours. Oh my god. Thank you. Now, excuse me, I'm gonna go punch some holes in my wall. At your feet rests the body of Theos. Oh, dude. Hollow, dense wrinkles shaped by the silent shouldering of an eternal burden now smooth across his color-drained face. His soul remains still for the moment, defenseless. Its energy expands in defeat. It lies sprawled across his body like a death shroud.
All those lifetimes spent to preserve a single vital secret. I would expect a man to reconsider his choices after the first 500 years.
After journeying for lifetimes, I can't imagine his failure, knowing it was all for nothing.
Just like what I just did. With a deep breath, you plunge into Theos' soul, and where in Brackenbury had been a maze of narrow corridors and dead ends, now it is an expansive and borderless. It's expansive and borderless. Its walls crumbling into heaps like the ruins of Ingwith as you pass through them. You travel for what seems like ages, rushing to know a destination, a memory you glimpsed once before. At last, you see it, no more than a pinprick of light at the end of the long tunnel, expanding slowly at first, then quickly as you near. You come out of the room you are standing in now, but it is new and pristine, filled with people. Thousands of them, all turned towards the Adra pillar and the machine that encases it. Theos stands at the machine, and you are one with him now. You look out at the crowd, at faces of shriveled old men and cherub-cheeked little girls, at mothers bouncing infants to quiet them, and fathers clasping their children, restless hands, and watching you with somber acceptance. A woman with tears in her eyes gives you a small nod. You turn back towards the machine. Your breath constricts beneath the weight of unwanted knowledge, preparing yourself to set alone on a journey without an end. You close your eyes and open them again to find the machine still in front of you, beckoning. You take your place in front of it, place your hands upon a mechanical disc at the base of the great crystal column, and speak a single word. Giant rings creak to life, building speed, setting rays of card draconic mouth aglow, and sending tremors through the platform beneath you. The entire room shakes now with the force of the accelerated machine, all sounds drowned out by its deep, deafening thrum. Brilliant tendrils of light arc outward from the pillar in all directions, and you look over your shoulder to see them engulfing the crowd, burning them brightly like hot iron. One by one, the tendrils disappear, leaving ashen effigies where people once stood, many of them disintegrated into gray heaps under the stress of the tremors. Okay, so, good things happening. You look above to the Adra pillar, and the glowing spherical mass has begun to coalesce atop the column where the arcs covered. It grows and pulsates, translucent and bulbous like some immense chrysalis suspended in slow rotation as though it were being spun from the arcs of light. When the last arcs disappear, the spectral mass hangs a moment, no longer rotating, so bright you must shield your eyes with an outstretched hand, and it seems to you as though it is looking at you. You bow your head in acknowledgement and look back up to see it melt into a pillar like warm candle wax. The pillar flares with a flash of light, bright as the sun itself, then fades to darkness. The machine slows down to an abrupt halt. When the last echo of its grinding cogs passed, the chamber is still, and you are alone. From all the sides, reality begins to bleed in through the memory, and you find yourself in your own skin once more, looking down on Theos' lifeless body. You sense a listless to Theos' soul, an overwhelming fatigue that hinders it immediate escape and makes it vulnerable to manipulation. You feel as though your victory has given you some kind of hold over it, and you are able to do with it as you please. Return this cycle. Tear his soul apart, banish his soul to Amen, destroy all his memories contained within, tear his soul apart. I'm going to return it to the cycle. You'll remember this, Theos. Remember that no man can hide the truth forever, and all you've done in futility. Your memory shall be your penance.
You've let him off too easily, Watcher. I would have left such scars on his soul that he'd have begged escape from the wheel's turn.
You can feel the pull of intricate Adra capillaries that rise up from the depths below the chamber. Many are bound with great pillar and would pass to Wodoka, but some are filled with the souls of the dead, bound for somewhere else entirely, and you know these are the paths of the rebirth. Stretching your presence as far as your spirit will allow, you make contact with such path, and between it and yourself, you open up with what feels like a long tunnel, sheer and undulating like the gullet of some enormous beast. You shift your focus to Theos' soul, clinging weakly to its vanquished cell, and with all your concentration, you wrench it free and send it hurtling through the channel until it passes into the Adra vein and can be felt no more. In the stillness that follows, a single word echoes through your mind, a word you spoke when you were one with Theos in an ancient memory. You realize it is the word that activates the machine.
Certainly.
Well, guys, that was rough.
Ah, the end of the road greets us at last. You fared well, Watcher. Better than any Watcher has right to. Seems you were a field in need of a flame's cleansing. But with that trial's end, a new one begins. A God's trial. And I will stand in judgment without mercy.
Following your lead, we've come to the end of it, my friend. It has been an honor to walk this road with you, and I will regret our parting.
All the hard-won lessons we have survived, I will carry back with me to Ratua. I'll try to do justice by your story, both stranger and more exciting than anything I could have conjured up. Victory agrees with you, Diosling. You look as if a great weight has lifted from your shoulder. I'm glad for it. Oh, thank you. I feel pretty good.
Never thought I'd see something like this in my travels. Lends a little perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah. Wow, that's all you have to say. Okay.
Certainly.
So my question is, am I like able to exit from here? Do something real quick. Okay, so this is pre-end game. I'm gonna do save. I want to see if like I can just roll it back, like before I hit this thing. With your companions bearing witness, you step to the place where Theos once stood before his people long ago. The great machine lies in front of you, idle, ready. You have seen the machine and others like it in operation. You understand how it works. It is a device for directing souls. As a watcher, it would be simple matter to influence that direction, though as big as the machine is, it may be the last thing you ever do. Speak the command and activate the machine. There's a shrieking of stone grinding against stone as old cogs loosen and begin to turn. You have only the moment before the souls will be sent into the Adra vein. It will be your only chance at redirecting them. Return the souls to the bodies they were intended for. You Close your eyes and expand your perception outwards, taking in the immense totality of tens of thousands of souls orbiting the chamber. Your grasp on the souls is tenuous. You find yourself fighting to keep all within your influence, and you can feel them slipping away from you as the machine gains speed. A brief moment comes when it feels as though you hold all of them at once, and their force is great. So great, it feels as though they will tear you apart. In that moment, you dedicated your entire being to bending their orbit, channeling their flows in a new direction.
At your command, the ancient device became your instrument, spinning to life with deafening resonance and gathering up the swirling essence like thread on a great spindle. There, in the pale pulsing glow of the machine that set you on this path long ago, you summoned all your strength, focusing on your objective and blocking out all else. With a single concussive blast that rocked the chamber and sent you tumbling to the ground, you freed the souls from their stasis. Exhausted, your consciousness slipping away, your last sight was of the machine, dark and dormant. Then your eyes closed, and sleep welcomed you at long last. After coming to and searching for some time, you discovered the route Theos used to enter Sun and Shadow, and embarked on a long and arduous ascent back to the surface. You emerged in Ter Evron after days of tunneling through the rubble Theos had left behind, and when you stepped into the daylight, you were faced with a different Deerwood than the one you had left. At your direction, the souls diverted by Theos were guided back to the vessels originally meant for them. For the first time, parents of hollow-born children woke to the cries of their infants, and looked into their eyes to see them staring back.
Well, that's happy.
People fell to their knees where they stood, thanking Helia or Mogren.
Oh my god, think of the people that threw away their babies.
Forgiveness of whatever guilt they felt they bore. But for all the relief that had come to some parents, others only found new grief. For many thousands of Hollowborn had died during Wide One's legacy, many by their parents' own hands.
Oh, okay, we're
For
talking
those
about
children, there would be no homecoming. Yet the last Hollow birth was in the past now, and those parents willing to risk trying for a new child were frequently rewarded,
Nice.
often with twins. Many felt they saw Helia's hand in it, and the year would be remembered as the year of Helia's splendor. Though you had killed Lord Radric in his throne room, so strong was his drive to rid his land of Eothasians that he returned to life as a Death Guard, a deathless crusader for his brutal cause. With the remains of his humanity stripped away, Radric came to see all the people of Gilded Vale as worshippers of Eothas, and one day he led his forces into the village personally to see them all purged from his lands.
Oh, that was an optional quest.
Gilded Vale was left a hollow shell, its buildings ruined, and its people slaughtered. Even travelers and would-be squatters knew better than to take refuge inside its borders. Lord Radric returned to Radric's Hold, where he remained, keeping eternal watch over his barren domain. Following the assassinations of Duke Avar Wolfgren and Lady Webb, Defiance Bay was thrown into political upheaval. In the ensuing weeks, the streets had become the domain of looters and blackguards. Few dared to step outside their own doors alone or unarmed. But order was soon re-established by the Knights of the Crucible,
Huzzah.
who, despite their depleted numbers, had gained favor in the public eye for their role in the unraveling of the conspiracy surrounding Widewan's legacy, and were quickly reinforced by returning forces.
I feel like I
Fleetwood
did add that.
Castle. For the
That was my
Knights,
hand at work.
their resurgence marked a return to the tradition as well. Having seen firsthand the dangers presented by dabblers in animancy, the Order quickly abolished the practice internally, preferring the familiarity of their hammers and forges to the uncertainties of Essence and Adra. Their identity rediscovered, the Knights suppressed their political aspirations and began once again to train their recruits in the art of blacksmithing, recapturing the post-revolutionary ideals of Deerwood and regaining the respect of its citizens as a result. Though the machine atop Ter Noaneth had been disabled, it had not seen its last use. Heritage Hill was rebuilt, and no sooner had the first families moved in to resettle the district than members of the Leaden Key, acting under standing orders from their Grand Master, climbed the tower and reactivated the machine. the initiate slew a handful of the new settlers under cover of night, and watched as history repeated itself, the victims reanimating and devouring the survivors. After this second incident, the district would remain
Well, I guess I should have destroyed it.
the Duke's assassination at the apparent hands of
But I
an
didn't know what it
Animancer
did
had caused
at that point.
catastrophic rioting in the streets of Defiance Bay. But those who had escaped the melee in the palace hearings remembered the testimonies of the strange guest who had shown up that
I
day
should have
and
destroyed it. I
absolved
didn't
Animancy,
know.
implicating the Leaden Key instead. The rumor spread quickly, and soon the popular belief was that the assassin had been a Leaden Key spy. When the legacy had lifted, people came to see it not as a sign that the riots had been according to the gods' wishes, as Theos had hoped, but as a confirmation that Animancy had never been the source of the problem in the first place.
Yay.
Deerwoodans instead convinced themselves that the riots had somehow purged Defiance Bay of Leaden Key spies,
Well, obviously not.
and that the end of Whitewind's legacy was their well-deserved reward. The rage against Animancers was quickly forgotten, and those who had survived were permitted to return to Brackenberry Sanitarium and rebuild it so they might resume their studies. The town of Deerford had seen the last of the cult of Scan. Dark rumors about the town's many curses quickly faded, and travelers soon returned. The Hollowborn Scourge ended, and as news of the White Forge spread, smiths came from near and far to labor by its fires. It drew the attention and envy of several governments, but it also revitalized the region. Once more, the White March grew famous and prosperous for
Speaking
its
of,
metalworking.
I'll start that tomorrow.
Under Tana's guidance, Stalwart's mines were restored, albeit slowly and with half a dozen accidents. However, this did not forestall the arrival of scores of prospectors, many of them brigands and outlaws, and all of them eager to profit from the White Forge. By the time Stalwart reopened its mines, half a dozen others had been excavated in the nearby peaks. The lawless men and women who ran them became a constant source of competition and violence for the beleaguered village. The opening of Durgan's battery created ample opportunities for the smugglers that already prowled the mountains. The law-abiding villagers of Stalwart did their best to bar the gates against these ruffians, yet they somehow found a way into the village, where they spit in the streets and shouted over games of dice. While the villagers fretted and gossiped about their rowdy visitors, few noticed Owina's midnight errands, or the extra coin that passed to her as she served food and drink to the boisterous patrons. Even as Stalwart memorialized the discovery of the White Forge, the arrival of the Watcher became an even more celebrated occasion, for the Watcher had given them not only Durgan's battery, but also hope for their own village. Maneha never found the Salt Well, but she found a kind of peace in her duties as a gift-bearer, and in the ebb and flow of her journeys. As she traveled and accepted burdens
Oh
from
man, I
Andra's
didn't do any of the
supplicants, she saw
character
in their
quests.
eyes a kind of peace that she had not previously noticed. It was faith, not that Andra had freed them of their pain, guilt, and regret, but that she would, a little more each year. With that realization, Maneha learned to accept that Andra's ways were as gradual as they were inexorable. The fortress of Cadnua emerged as a bastion of security in the midst of an untamed land, becoming the envy of every thane and earl in Deerwood. Legend grew over time of its impregnability, and stories of formidable invaders easily scattered by the keep's defenses became popular around the hearths of Deerwoodinians. Likewise, it also became a beacon to travelers, merchants, and visiting dignitaries alike. Reputed as the finest fortress in all Deerwood, people would journey from near and distant lands alike to experience its fabled hospitality and grandeur.
Well, at least I did that right.
After the death of the Master below, a strange quiet fell over the endless paths of Odd-Nua. The attacks on the fortress above ceased, Odd-Nua's silent titan the closest remaining thing to a master in its musty, forgotten passages. When the dust settled in sun and shadow, Aloth looked upon the remains of Theos Ix Arcanon, his former master. He saw where the Grandmaster had gone wrong, and he knew what he would do better. The secret of the gods would be preserved, and with it, the sanity and well-being of all Kith. He donned the remains of Theos' ceremonial garb, and prepared himself for the long and lonely task ahead. With both their aims fulfilled, Kana Rua bid the Watcher farewell and sailed back to his beloved Rawatai. There, he reported on his findings to the Lore College. Kana spoke of the Engwithan people, describing both their vile experiments and their inspiring accomplishments. He spoke too of the destruction of the tablet by the Leaden Key, and the group's efforts to erase the Engwithan legacy from the world. Both inspiration and cautionary tales, he said, could be found in the world beyond Rawatai's borders. Kana urged his people to continue to pursue knowledge abroad so that the lessons found there might benefit Tekoa. Kana's inability to prove his theory of Engwithan influence diminished his academic standing, but his passion drew much interest from those less concerned with degrees. Kana swiftly became an influential figure in the move toward a more collaborative approach to expansion on the northern continent. In his personal life, he came to enjoy the reputation of an affable eccentric, willing to share grand and impossible secrets, along with a drink and a song. With Theos defeated and the souls released from Sun and Shadow, healthy children were born once again in the Deerwood. The grieving mother sought a place where she might do penance for the birthing bell. She returned to Deerford, where, to the astonishment of the villagers, she delivered the first healthy child in over a decade. She remained there, and with each new birth, she saw a measure of hope restored to the Deerwood, and a measure of grace for her own troubled past. Durrance continued to blame Woodica for the atrocities of the Saints' War. Believing Magrin to have been a pawn in the machinations of the Queen that was, and feeling that Theos's expulsion had been a step towards reconciliation with his goddess, Durrance tried for a time to reopen communication with her. When only silence came, he took it as a condemnation of his continued existence. Ultimately, he built a pyre and threw himself upon it, using his own shattered staff as kindling.
Wow, dude.
You and Sagani never found Persoc together. The Adra figurine had gone dark by the time they emerged from Sun and Shadow, and it was another month before Sagani finally accepted that Persoc's trail had gone cold again. Her search took her beyond the Deerwood and as far as the Living Lands.
Yeah, I never found that person
She saw the great
for
coastal cities of Rawatai and the ruins of Old Valia, absorbing the details of these strange and distant lands. 20 years passed before the Adra figurine finally glowed again. When it did, she followed its signal to a quiet hamlet on the outskirts of Adir. There, she met a young farmer and told her of her past as an elder of Masuk. Sagani returned to a village that had forgotten her face, but remembered her story. Masuk greeted her with cautious warmth, and Sagani found that their ways had become strange to her. She also learned that Kalu had perished of winter fever a few years before, and her middle child, Najuo, had died in a raid. But she found her daughter Yakona a hunter and mother of 3, and her son Malak a builder of mighty walls. In them, she came to find her place in the village, and the familiar contours of a world that had changed in her absence. For you, the death of Theos brought an end to your waking visions, and a silence to the whispers of the past. In their absence, you were able to sleep.
Can't wait to go to sleep.
The questions of a distant lifetime ceased to trouble your soul. All that remained was what to make of the answer. Unfortunately, you would have little time to contemplate the matter. Soon after your victory at Sun and Shadow, rumors of a monstrous army swept the Deerwood. What first sounded like superstition and drunkards' tales turned out to be much more.
What happened to my Pentrol fortress?
Creatures of flesh and iron found you and brought the walls of your keep down upon you.
What the? I thought my keep was impenetrable. What? Why did my keep get destroyed? We'll go quick through these. Not that quick. Yeah, I want them to be readable. Okay. So tomorrow I will start on the White March Part 2 DLC. I need to find out whether I can start it from right before I turn on the machine, or I have to go back to like above the pit to do that. I guess I can give my thoughts about how I feel about this game. So this was a good CRPG. I liked it. Definitely had its challenges. I mean, the Audra Dragon, it took me 3 hours. This final fight took me 3 hours. I feel like the fights were mostly fair. Like the Audra Dragon, I felt like was far more fair. I don't know why the AI just seemed to comply a little bit better, but it's probably because I was able to stage everybody. The fact that like in this final fight I wasn't able to stage everyone, I think really is what made it difficult. And I had to fight with the AI. Otherwise, like I'd turn it off and like they'd do nothing. I don't want to do that. But yeah. Letting go of that, because I just experienced it, I think the rest of the game was pretty fun. There's a lot to explore. There are a lot of quests. I obviously missed a couple. You know, classic CRPG. Whatever you do along the way kind of changes your end. So that's cool. I always like that. So choices in the story matter. They don't matter so much in how the quests progress. I like the music. I liked the combat system. I liked the areas. The story was excuse me. The story was pretty interesting. I'm definitely interested to see where they go with this in Pillars of Eternity 2. If they keep on the same storyline or they just stick to the universe. DLC, I've only made it through the first part of the White March, but once again, I'll be doing that tomorrow. I like the DLC. It adds some interesting, like, flavor to this world. I feel like each town and city, like the different areas are definitely unique. They have kind of like their own air about them. So I think they did a really good job in world creation. One thing I didn't fall in love with was all the characters. I didn't care about them enough to go through their stories. Their stories didn't feel very, like, compelling. I didn't ever feel the need to go off and try to help them out, and the ones that I did, it felt like I was running errands more than I was trying to help them through their quest. That's always kind of like a tough thing to do, I feel, but I don't think they did it exceptionally well. I mean, the game, it's a pretty long game. I think I've spent like, 50 hours in it so far. I probably could go a lot longer. I've got a bunch of bounties. I've got a bunch of side quests. I mean, there's plenty of that to do. So there's plenty of time to be spent in this game. I don't know how compelled I am to keep going, especially since there's Pillars of Eternity 2, and I'm kind of racing the clock on a couple of other games with it, so I don't know how deep into this title I'm going to get, but I'll definitely do the DLC. I'm trying to think what else. The F5 function works. Very important. Yeah, and I liked it. I like the artwork. I think this is a good CRPG. If you've got time, if you like CRPGs, this is definitely one to get into if you haven't so far. I'm glad I played it. Yeah, definitely manageable. Not really good indicators on what level you're supposed to be for different places. Like, I walked into some pretty nasty places at a far lower level than I should have been. And there's like kind of no indication of that besides the fact that you get your butt kicked. And then I feel like a lot of CRPGs have this problem. They don't kick your butt soon enough. That makes sense. I always feel like a good way of telling someone they shouldn't be there is beat the crap out of them at the door, and then they can, you know, get the hint, come back later, and then do the boss fight. But here, it felt like I was over leveled until I got to the boss fight, and then I felt like I was just like way under leveled. And it might have just been the way I had my team stacked. I don't know. Or it just might be a just incredibly hard fight. Still, it was an interesting fight. Once again, a little frustrating that they didn't let me set up where I could stand everybody, but it was a good fight. I think they did also a really good job too of like tying the storyline together near the end. I felt like a little lost in Act 2. Act 3, things started making sense, and then Act 4, I feel like they did a good job of tying everything up. So that was pretty good. Okay, so they fixed them in PoE 2. Yeah, I'm interested to see how it's going to be. I think that's one of the things I thought was really unique about this game is the endurance health system. That like there's a overall health that you can only heal by camping, and then the endurance, you know, is battle specific. Is that changed in PoE 2? It's like, do they do it like the regular way where health and endurance are kind of the same thing? Yeah, it is kind of redundant. That's a good point. Well, I feel like they should have switched the two, right? It should have been like a stamina and then your health. Because the health was kind of like, this is how many times you can actually fight a day. And then this is how much damage, and the stamina was how much damage you can take during a fight. So I guess I could see why they named it the way they did. But I think that's kind of a unique system. It's kind of like an exhaust system. They can only go so far. But at the same time, too, I can see the redundancy, the fact that, like, well, why don't you just combine those two? But then, like, there's like the inner battle scenario where if your guy's getting pounded on really hard, he's gonna get like knocked out, but it's not gonna necessarily kill him. So I think I see where they were going with it, but I definitely see where you're saying it's kind of redundant. One thing like about this RPG system, it's pretty streamlined for like a pen and paper. So like, I mean, that's hard to compare to D&D or Pathfinder, but like Pathfinder, I feel like each character is a little bit more customizable than it is in this one. There aren't nearly as many options, but at the same time, I feel like it makes it easier to access for like a casual player. They can more easily like kind of build their character versus when you look at character building in like D&D, it can be a little overwhelming. I do like that about this system. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna play through the White March DLC tomorrow, starting tomorrow, and we'll see how far I get. I probably will get through it by Saturday. Let's see. Oh, I'll have to check what's next. I think I have a VR game coming up. So I'll have to set that up. I think it's the Talos Principle is next on my list of games to play. Yeah. Let's see. Yep, Talos Principle is on my list. Oh, then I'm gonna do the Terraria all bosses run. Why I'm gonna do that, but I guess it's like they had that patch that came out last year, I've played Terraria off and on, and I just want to go just an all boss run. With that, I'm probably not going to put the whole thing up on YouTube. I'll probably just put like, well, maybe I can do the whole adventure. We'll see how like the first 2 days go by. But before that, Talos Principle VR. How long is that game? It could take up to 30, or it takes around 30 hours to beat. Main story plus extras, people are saying 36. Main story alone is 23. That is a long VR game. It should be interesting. Cool. Before I go to bed, I want to check something. Oh wait, what does continue mean? I think this is just like right before the end. I saved it. Well, this game has a save state where I'm outside of the end, which would be cool. No, it's right before I touched it. Okay.
Certainly.
Hold on. See if we can like get out of here. Oh, wait. Can I just travel? No. I want to see if I can get out. Then I can do the White March from this state. And then I can take her level with whatever experience they gathered. Hold on, before we walk out that door. 'Cause what level are they now? 14. So I'm going to be 2 levels under what they recommend doing the White March at. The second part. I'm going to have to be careful. But I mean, like, I've been under levels for everything else, so not too worried. Guardian's Dome. It's gonna let me out. I doubt it's gonna let me out, but it'd be cool if it did. Let me out. Internet, help me out here. Can I get out of here, or do I have to load from the save before I jumped in here? Okay. Nope, there's no way to escape this. Okay. What I have to do here. It actually creates a save right before, and I
Certainly.
created a save as well. Okay, so I lost a level, but that's not terrible. All right. Jump on boat. Okay. All right, let's just go home. And we will pivot from here. So
Amazing.
I'm gonna
You could fit a
save.
whole village in here.
I'm gonna save over this. We'll just call it White March. Oh, 58 hours. Okay, so this game took me 58 hours with the White March. First part of the DLC. Cool. Right. Alright, cool. And I will pick up from this tomorrow, and we will go do the second part of the DLC. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. That was a fight and a journey. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. Dark Furry, thanks for chilling. Sergeant Nugget, you as well. I'll probably be on around 8-ish tomorrow. Hopefully, yeah, no later than that. That's for sure. I will see everyone later.